Hi everyone, my name is Emily. I'm the director of the SBH Center for Culinary Medicine and Teaching Kitchen, and I am bringing the Teaching Kitchen to you. And today I'm going to show you how to make homemade chicken stock. I love showing people how to make chicken stock at home because it's really easy. It's going to be a lot cheaper than buying chicken stock from the grocery store, and we're going to make it super flavorful as well. All we need for this chicken stock today are some chicken bones, onions, carrots, and celery, and that's it. So we're going to start with some frozen chicken bones. This is just left over from a roast chicken that I made about 2 weeks ago. I like saving those bones just in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my largest pot that I have. Add that right in there. And then we just need to add our vegetables. So one thing I like to do as well, when I'm saving chicken bones, I also like to save any vegetable scraps that I may have while I'm cooking. So if I have any, ends of onions or some carrot peels that are left over, or the ends of celery that I'm trimming off, things that I might not use while I'm cooking, but are still really flavorful and usable, I just save them in some kind of container in the freezer as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my stock. And I would say about 2 of these would be enough for stock. I only had 1, so I'm going to supplement with some extra vegetables. What I just added was mostly celery, so I'm going to add some extra onions and carrots. So I have about 2 onions here. You don't need to chop them perfectly, you just want to get most of that skin off because the skin can be pretty bitter. I'm going to go ahead and add those. And then I have a carrot here. You don't have to peel it, you just want to cut it into pretty big pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and add this as well. When it comes to amounts, it's not so much about measuring the vegetables that you're adding, but just knowing the ratios that you want. So you want about half of your vegetables to be onion, a quarter to be carrots, and a quarter to be celery. So you don't have to measure, you just want to go for those ratios. And now all we have to do is cover our our vegetables and our chicken bones with water. So again, it's not so much about measuring out that water, just knowing how much you need. So we're just gonna cover that by about 1 inch with water. And it's okay if you have a little extra water because we're gonna let this simmer for so long. A lot of that water is going to evaporate out and just lead to more concentrated flavors. So now all I need to do is turn my burner onto high heat. So I've turned my burner onto high heat. I just want to bring this up to a boil. As soon as it's boiling, I'm going to bring it to the lowest heat possible. We're going to simmer that stock for 4 hours and then we'll strain it. So we'll check back in about 4 hours, strain our stock, and then we'll be done. Alright, so our stock has been simmering for about 4 hours at this point, and something to keep in mind with stock is if you only have 3 hours or if you want to let it simmer longer, that's okay too. That stock's going to be really forgiving. And one thing you might notice while it's simmering is there might be some fat that rises to the top. That's just coming from the chicken as it cooks off. So one thing you can do while you see that fat rising to the top of your stock is to just take something like a mug and a big spoon and just skim off some of that fat while it's cooking. You can also, if you want to, if you don't feel like doing this while it's cooking, is just let that stock cool completely in the refrigerator. All of that fat's going to rise to the top and form a solid disc, and then it's really easy to just take that out. So either way, it works. And now what I'm going to do with my stock is strain it. So what I have here in front of me is just a really big bowl with a strainer inside, and I'm just going to pour that stock right into the strainer. I always like to pour towards myself, that way you can aim where that stream goes. So I'm just going to pour that right into that strainer. Get all of that out. And then what I like to do is take that strainer out, and this is going to release some stock over time, so I'm going to let this fully strain just back in this pot here so I can take any of that liquid that comes out. But now I have a lot of really delicious, flavorful stock Now, if you think you're going to use this within the next week, you can keep it in your refrigerator. Or if you're not really sure what you want to use it for, I recommend putting it into the freezer. I really like to put it into quart-sized containers that holds about 4 cups. I find that that's a really appropriate amount for most soup recipes, so it's really easy to just pull out 1 container of stock. I don't have to thaw everything just to get the amount that I want. So keep it in the fridge, keep it in the freezer, depending on what your needs are, but either way, we're going to have really flavorful stock that was really easy to make, and that didn't cost us a lot of money either. So once again, my name is Emily. Please feel free to reach out to me, leave me some comments if you have any questions. I love hearing from you all, and I'll see you next time.